So I want to thank you for coming down today to listen to my author book talk about Jack Gantos. If you notice in the picture over here in the glasses, he sort of has a signature look of black form glasses. So I actually went out and bought each of you a pair of black form glasses. You'll take one and pass them around. You can wear them out if you like to. If not, you can hold them to them. As you're passing those around, I want to tell you a little bit about Jack Gantos. Jack Gantos was born in Western Pennsylvania in 1951. And that's outside of the area of Western Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh. And as he got older, he actually moved to South Florida and was raised in the Caribbean. And he writes both novels and picture books. And he's won numerous awards and even the Newbery Honor Award, which we'll talk about in a minute here. Now, what do you know about Jack? Jack began writing while he was still in school, after seeing his sister doing any journaling. Do any of you do any journaling at all? You do some journaling? Okay. Yeah, some people say it really helps out when you're doing your writing. That's great to hear. Thank you. He attended 10 schools throughout his childhood in South Florida and the Caribbean countries. He was able to make friends quickly. Now, for example, my oldest daughter's been to 3 elementary schools from us moving different places. Have any of you ever been to more than one school in your childhood?
Yes.
No.
It's tough sometimes, wasn't it? Making new
Yeah.
friends? Good. So he spent 18 months in prison for transporting illegal drugs on a sailboat in the Caribbean, which actually led to one of his more successful books we'll talk about here in a minute or two. So, first question is, do you remember any of the books from elementary school? He has written the Rotten Ralph series of books. When you were younger, you read the Rotten Ralph books?
Yeah, I have.
That's what those? Yeah. He wrote those. And he also wrote the Joey Pizza books, which I have a few of these here also, and you can check out, look at it some time, and then some of the early chapter books he has. Recognize these at all?
Yeah.
I think I have.
Cool. Now, moving to more on your age, you heard any of these books by Jack Gantos for kids your age. The first one here is Hole in My Life. And earlier you saw the picture of him when he was in jail. This is the book he sort of wrote about himself and the mistakes he made and how he was able to turn himself around with a love of writing and be successful and sort of leave that in the past and move on. This is a series made heard called Guys Read. And there's 4 or 5 of them I have here in the library. And this was called Funny Business. And a lot of authors who write sort of humorous, funny stories, they're asked to contribute to write a story in this book, and we have here in the library. He's also written Jack's Black Book, wrote Heads or Tails, and what we're talking about today is called Dead End in Norvelt, which we'll talk about here in a minute.
Okay.
And the continuation is From Norvelt to Nowhere. You read that?
I read Dead End.
Oh, good. Have you read the From Norvelt to Nowhere?
No,
I got it for you here today. Okay. So, Dead End in Norvelt. The main character, his name is Jack. He's 12 years old. Lives with mom and dad in a small town in Norvelt, Pennsylvania. Very small town. And the themes of the story we're looking at are family issues, friendship, communities, lying and honesty, death, and courage. Now, what happened to Jack? Well, the story begins with Jack sneaking out to the parents' garage one evening. His dad had hidden a World War II Japanese rifle out there. Never was loaded. For some reason, this tonight was loaded and accidentally shot off. And his mother heard it, ran outside screaming. She was so upset with him, she said she was grounded for the summer and staying in his room. Why it was loaded? You can read the book to find out. Dad comes in the next day, and Dad's got a plan to get him out of the room. And Dad wants to build a bunker, bomb bunker. You know what a bunker is?
Mm-hmm.
What's a bunker?
It's where people go to get protected from bombs.
Exactly. The only problem that is, it's in the middle of his mom's cornfield. So the dad tells Jack to go out and cut the corn down, knowing Jack will get in trouble, but the dad says he'll cover him. The whole time, Dad's in the garage hiding out. Because the night before, Dad had brought something very mysterious into the garage. He won't tell Jack what it is, and I won't tell you either. You need to read the book. Now, Mom has a plan also. There's an older lady in town named Miss Volker. Miss Volker has extreme arthritis. You ever heard of arthritis before?
Yeah,
my mom has it.
What was that? What is arthritis?
Like it's joint pain.
Exactly. So this lady would dip her hands in hot wax in the morning to get her joints moving in the morning because she had 2 jobs in town. Even though she was an elderly lady, she was a medical examiner. So if you pass away, someone has to fill out certificates and paperwork to fill out when you pass away. She had that job, and she also wrote obituaries. You know what obituary is?
Yeah, it's an article when people die, they write about it.
Exactly. Well, having arthritis, as you know with your mother, is probably a difficult thing to do. Okay. So, meanwhile, the older days in town start dying off, and no one knows why. Yes, older people pass away, but it's happening more often than not. Also, a motorcycle gang is coming into town at night. Well, at the same time they start coming into town, houses start being burned down the evening. Not because of the motorcycle gang and the arson, but the old ladies dying. For some reason, people are now taking the houses and moving them out into another town further away into West Virginia. What happens next? Well, You gotta read the book to find out. Find out what's in the garage, who loaded the rifle, does Jack ever get out of being grounded, and what happened to all the ladies in Norvelt. Read the book to find out, and more amazing events in the book, Dead End Norvelt by Jack Gantos. Now, where can you find this book in your library? Aisle 3, under Fiction and Gantos, Aisle 8 in Young Adult and Gantos, and right behind us here in the Young Reader section under Gantos. Are there any questions? Great. Well, thank you for coming, and have a great weekend.
You too.
Thanks so much.